cup is cold and stained. The morning light begins to fall. I watch the dust motes dance in place against the shadow on the wall. Your jacket hangs behind the door, a ghost of where you used to be. I count the floorboards one by one and wait for silence to set me free. The record spins a quiet tune, the needle scratches through the grave. I haven't moved an inch since dawn, or found a single word to say. The curtains sway without a sound, a gentle breath from nowhere near. I'm tracing outlines in the air of everything that isn't here. Don't tell me that the sky is blue when all I see is shades of tea. The window pane is blurred with mist between the world and lonely me. It's not a heavy kind of blue, just a pale and dusty kind of gold. A story left without an end, a secret that was never told. Maybe if the wind blows right, the scent of rain will fill the room and wash away the lingering scent of winter flowers in their bloom. I'm not looking for a reason why, or searching for a brand new day. I'm just sitting in a velvet dark, watching colors fade to gray. The teapot hums a low refrain, the clock is ticking slow and deep. I try to find a place to rest before I lull myself to sleep. The sugar cube dissolves away until there's nothing left to see, just the bitterness of afternoon and the space where you should be. I fold the letter once again and tuck it deep inside the drawer. The ink is fading, drying out. I don't remember what it's for. The empty chair across the road is keeping secrets of its own. I've learned to like the way it feels to be so peacefully alone. Softly now the shadows grow, stretching long across the floor. I can listen for your footsteps walking through the heavy door. Don't tell me that the sky is blue when all I see is shades of tea. The window pane is blurred with mist between the world and lonely me. Yeah, it's not a heavy kind of blue, just a pale and dusty kind of gold. A story left without an end, a secret that was never told. The coffee cup is cold and stained. The morning light begins to fall. I watch the dust motes dance in place against the shadow on the wall. Your jacket hangs behind the door, a ghost of where you used to be. I count the floorboards one by one and wait for silence to set me free. The record spins a quiet tune, the needle scratches through the gray. I haven't moved an inch since dawn or found a single word to say. The curtains sway without a sound, a gentle breath from nowhere near. I'm tracing outlines in the air of everything that isn't here. Don't tell me that the sky is blue when all I see is shades of tea. The window pane is blurred with mist between the world and lonely me. It's not a heavy kind of blue, just a pale and dusty kind of gold. A story left without an end, a secret that was never told. If the wind blows right, the scent of rain will fill the room and wash away the lingering scent of winter flowers in their bloom. I'm not looking for a reason why or searching for a brand new day. I'm just sitting in the velvet dark, watching colors fade to gray. The teapot hums a low refrain, the clock is ticking slow and deep. I try to find a place to rest before I lull myself to sleep. The sugar cube dissolves away until there's nothing left to see, just the bitterness of afternoon and the space where you should be. I fold the letter once again and tuck it deep inside the drawer. The ink is faint and drying out. I don't remember what it's for. The empty chair across the rug is keeping secrets of its own. I've learned to like the way it feels to be so peacefully alone. Softly now the shadows grow, stretching long across the floor. I don't listen for your footsteps walking through the heavy door. Don't tell me that the sky is blue when all I see is shades of teal. The window pane is blurred with mist between the world and lonely me. It's not a heavy kind of blue, just a pale and dusty kind of gold. A story left without an end, a secret that was never told. The asphalt glows and bleeding wine, while shadows stretch and tangle on the line. My shoes click patterns on the stone, a rhythmic groove I walk alone. The steam from the subway grate, like a ghost that arrived too late. A yellow sedan in the hazy blue, the driver stares and nothing true. The bitter drive pulls at my coat, a silent song within my throat. The buildings lean like tired men senses go numb. The storefront windows show a pale face, a traveler in a cinematic space. There's comfort in a chill on bone, a kingdom built for one alone. The traffic signals blink amber eyes underneath the electric skies. The noise of the day is a fever broke, leaving behind this cocoa smoke. I drifted through all these memories, sleep into the secrets the darkness keeps. Slow city lights wash over my skin, where the silence ends and the soul begins. No hairy crowds to push the tide, just midnight air with nowhere to hide. The stillness breeze, a steady hum, finding peace where the senses go numb. The corner clock, this frozen hands, a stray grain of sand in concrete lands. No telephones ring, no voices in flight, just velvet embrace of the indigo night. The solitude feels like a glove on my hand. In a kingdom of glass, I finally stand. Slow city lights wash over my skin, where the silence ends and the stogie begins. No heavy crowds to push the tide, just midnight air with nowhere to hide. The stillness breeze, a steady hum, finding peace where the senses go numb. Slow city lights wash over my skin, where the silence ends and the story begins. No heavy crowds to push the tide, just midnight air with nowhere to hide. The stillness breeze, a steady hum, finding peace where the senses go numb. The asphalt glows in bleeding white, while shadows stretch and tangle on the line. My shoes clip patterns on the stone, a rhythmic proof I walk alone. Steam from the subway grate, like a ghost that arrived too late. A yellow sedan in the hazy blue, the driver stares at nothing true. The bitter draft pulls at my coat, a silent song within my throat. The buildings lean like tired men, watching the hours dissolve again. The noise of the day is a fever broke, leaving behind this cloak of smoke. I drift through alleys, memories sleep into the secrets the darkness keeps. So city lights wash over my skin, where the silence ends and the soul begins. No heavy crowds to push the tide, just midnight air with peace where the senses go numb. The storefront when you show a pale face, a traveler in a cinematic space. There's comfort in a chill on bone, a kingdom built for one alone. The traffic signals blink amber eyes underneath the electric skies. The noise of the day is a fever broke, even behind this cloak of smoke. I drift through alleys, memories sleep into secrets the darkness keep. Slow city lights wash over my skin, where the silence ends and the soul begins. The heavy clouds to push the tide, just midnight and with nowhere to hide. The stillness breathes a steady hum, finding peace where the senses go numb. The quarter clock is frozen, hand to stray grain of sand and concrete lands. No telephones ring, no voices in flight, just velvet embrace of the indigo night. The solitude fits like a glove on my hand. In the kingdom of glass I finally stand. Slow city lights wash over my skin, where the silence ends and the soul begins. No heavy cries to push the tide, just midnight air with nowhere to hide. Stillness breathes a steady hum, finding peace where the senses go numb. Slow city lights wash over my skin, and the silence ends and the soul begins. Your heavy cries to push the tide, just midnight with nowhere to hide. The bottom of the mahogany frame holds a secret tonight. A rusted lock surrenders to the pull of the moon. Bundles of cream paper tied and frayed indigo twine, waiting like ghosts for someone to break the seal. I brush away the gray veil of decades spent in the dark. The cedar scent rises to meet the chill in the room. The slant of your cursive is a map to a buried town, where the ink was heavy and the fountain pen bold. I trace the loops of your name with a trembling thumb, feeling the pressure of the hand that held the nib. You wrote of the train smoke and the orchards in bloom, before the seasons grew tired and the colors went cold. These are the chronicles of a sun that refused to set, scribbled in the margins of a life we almost shared. The silence of the paper speaks louder than the wind. Every comma is a heartbeat held in suspended breath. I am walking through the hallways of a house built of ink, living in the creases where a folded shadows hide. These are the chronicles of a sun that refused to set, scribbled in the margins of a life we almost shared. The silence of the paper speaks louder than the wind. Every comma is a heartbeat held in suspended breath. I am walking through the hallways of a house built of ink, living in the creases where the folded shadows hide. Time is a thief, but it left the evidence behind. Stains of coffee and a smudge of a summer rain. The graphite may be pale, but the ache is still sharp. A bridge across the canyon of the wasted years. The flame of a match would turn it all to ash, but I choose to drown in the flood of the blue script. The window pane reflects a face I barely recognize, while the youth in these pages remains forever gold. You promised to stay until the rivers ran backward, a vow preserved in the amber of a thumbed-over page. I fold the sheets back into their narrow wooden cell, but the air is heavy with the weight of what survived. The drawer shuts with a sound like a distant closing door, leaving the ghosts to settle in their quiet rows. I carry the warmth of the parchments on my palms as the clocks in the hallway resume their steady count. The world outside is moving, but I am anchored here by the gravity of a sentence written long ago. These are the chronicles of a sun that refused to set, scribbled in the margins of a life we almost shared. The science of the paper speaks louder than the wind. Every comma is a heartbeat held in suspended breath. I am walking through the hallways of a house built of ink, living in the creature's mother folded shadows hide. These are the chronicles of a sun I refuse to set, scribbled in the margins of a life we almost shared. The silence of the earth speaks louder than the wind, and the comma is a heartbeat held in suspended breath. I'm walking through the hallways of a house built of ink, living in the crease. The bottom of the mahogany frame holds a secret tonight. A rusted lock surrenders to the pull of the moon. Bundles of cream paper tied and frayed in deco twine, waiting like ghosts for someone to break the seal. I brush away the gray veil of decades spent in the dark. The cedar scent rises to meet the chill in the room. The slant of your cursive is a map to a buried town, where the ink was heavy and the fountain pen bold. I trace the loops of your name where the trembling found, feeling the pressure of the hand that held the mirror. You wrote of the train smoke and the orchards in bloom, before the seasons grew tired and the colors went cold. These are the chronicles of a sun I refuse to set, scribbled in the margins of a life we almost share. The silence of the paper speaks louder than the wind. Every comment a heartbeat held in suspended breath. I am walking through the hallways of the highest building, living in the creases where the folded shadows hide. These are the chronicles of a song I refuse to say, scribbled in the margins of a life we almost share. The silence of the paper speaks louder than the wind. Every comma is a heartbeat held in suspended breath. I am walking through the hallways of a house built to bend, living in the creases where the folded shadows hide. Evidence behind, stains of coffee and a smudge of a summer rain. The graphite may be pale, but the ache is still sharp. A bridge across the canyon of the wasted years. The flame of a match would turn it all to ash, but I choose to drown in the flood of a blue script. The window pane reflects a face I barely recognize, while the youth in these pages remains forever gold. You promised to stay until the rivers ran backward, a vow preserved in the amber of a thumbed over page. I fold the sheets back into their narrow wooden cell, but the air is heavy with the weight of what survived. The drawer shuts with a sound like a distant closing door, leaving the ghosts to settle in their quiet rows. I carry the warmth of the parchment on my palms as the clocks in the hallway resume their steady count. The world outside is moving, but I am anchored here by the gravity of a sentence written long ago. Sun I refuse to set, scribbled in the margins of a life we almost shared. The silence of the paper speaks louder than the wind. Every comma is a heartbeat held in suspended breath. I am walking through the hallways of a house built of ink, living in the creases where the folded shadow carves. The dust motes dancing pillars of white. Static pops before the needle finds a light, dusting off the sleeves of a forgotten show. The kettle whistles a tune to myself. No clocks are ticking in this amber glow, just the slow spin of a heavy black show. The radiator hums a soft grounded sound, while the shadows stretch across the ground. The ink on the label has faded to gray. The water reaches its boiling today. The melody settles like a heavy coat around the silence in my throat. This is the wealth of a quiet hour. No thunderous vows or desperate power, just the scent of bees ground to a fine grain, and the crackle of a decade in the rain. It is enough to feel the warmth on my sleeve, Small mercy stacked in a cardboard state, the gentle gravity of this fate. Golden rectangles lean against the wall. The beams are dark and the porcelain is tall. Familiar scratches tell a story cold, not of grand escapes but of being bold. The rug is worn where the sunlight lays, a slow vibration through my days. Nothing is missing from this simple scene, everything balanced and serene. The ink on the label has faded to gray. The water reaches its boiling today. The melody settles like a heavy coat around a silent and modern road. This is the wealth of a quiet hour. No thunderous bows or desperate power, just the scent of beams ground to a fine grain, and the crackle of a decade in the rain. It is enough to feel the warmth on my sleeve, to watch the steam curl and believe. Small mercy stacked in a cardboard state, the gentle probity of this fate. We don't need the fire to burn the house down, to know that the hearth holds its own crown. There is a grace in the unhurried way of a Sunday that has nothing to say. Outside is a distant song, while the needle finds where it belongs. Yeah. The dust motes dance in pillars of white, static pops before the needle finds the light, dusting off the sleeves of the forgotten shelf. The kettle whistles a tune to myself. No clocks are ticking in this amber glow, just the slow spin of a heavy black show. The radiator hums a soft grounded sound, while the shadows stretch across the ground. The water reaches its violent today. The melody settles like a heavy coat around the silence in my throat. This is the wealth of a quiet hour. No thunderous vows or death about grand escapes, but of being bold. The rug is warm where the sunlight lays, a slow vibration through my days. Nothing is missing from this simple scene, everything balanced and serene. The ink on a label is faded to gray. The water reaches its boiling today. This is the wealth of a quiet hour. No thunderous bells or desperate power, just the sense of beings ground to a fine grain and the crackle of a decade in rain. It is enough to feel the warmth on my sleeve, to watch the steam curl and the leaf. Small mercy stacked in a cardboard safe, the gentle gravity of this fate. The gentle gravity of his fate. The dust is dancing in the sunbeam glow, across the wooden floor in gentle flow. The needle finds a song from long ago, a scratchy tune that plays a little slow. The radiator hums a steady tone, inside this coat I'm wearing all alone. No grand designs or promises to keep, just waking from a soft and shallow sleep. No heavy hearts or stories left to tell, just breathing in the air and feeling well, finding all the comfort waiting here as afternoon begins to draw so near. It is the steam above the ceramic brim, the way my shadows stretch out long and slim. Not a fever or a crashing wave, just the quiet ordinary things we say. A simple Sunday in the pouring light, everything is balanced and alright. I flip the disc to hear the other side, with nowhere left to run and not to hide. The newspaper lies scattered on the rug, as warm as any deep and silent hug. The world outside is muted through the glass, watching all the golden minutes pass. The kettle whistles once and then is still upon the marble windowsill. No wishing for a coin inside a well, no heavy story left for me to tell. Just breathing of the midday air so fair, finding all the comfort waiting there. It is the seam above the ceramic rim, the way the shadows stretch out long and slim. Not a fever or a crashing wave, just the quiet ordinary things we see. hesitate. A simple Sunday in the pouring light. Everything is balanced and alright. The clock hands move but do not seem to race, tracing gentle lines upon your face. We do not need the thunder or the fire to lift our spirits just a little higher. The fragrance of the coffee starts to bloom and softly fills the corners of the room. The ceramic brim, the way the shadows stretch out long and slim. Not a fever or a crashing wave, just the quiet ordinary things we say. A simple Sunday in the portal light. Every thought is balanced and alright. The dust is dancing in the sunken glow. Across the wooden floor in gentle flow, the needle finds a song from long ago. A scratchy tune that plays a little slow. The radiator hums a steady tone. Inside this coat I'm wearing all alone. No grand designs or promises to keep, just waking from a soft and shallow sleep. No heavy hearts or stories left to tell, just breathing in the air and feeling well. Finding all the comfort waiting here as afternoon begins to draw so near. It is the steam above the ceramic brim, the way the shadows stretch out long and slim. Not a fever or a crashing wave, just the quiet ordinary things we say. A simple Sunday in the pouring light. Everything is balanced and alright. I flip the disc to hear the other side, with nowhere left to run and not to hide. The newspaper lies scattered on the web, as warm as any deep and silent hug. The world outside is muted through the glass, watching all the golden minutes pass. The kettle whistles once and then is still upon the marble windowsill. No wishing for a coin inside a well, no heavy story left for me to tell. just breathing of the midday air so fair, finding all the comfort waiting there. It is a steamer above the ceramic brim, the way the shadows stretch out long and slim. Not a fever or a crashing wave, just the quiet ordinary things we save. A simple Sunday in the pouring light, everything is balanced and alright. Seem to race, tracing gentle lines upon your face. We do not need the thunder or the fire to lift our spirits just a little higher. The fragrance of the coffee starts to bloom and softly fills the corners of the room. It is the steam above the ceramic brim, the way the shadows stretch out long and slim. Not a fever or a crashing wave, just the quiet ordinary things we save. A simple Sunday in the pouring light, everything is balanced and alright. Ceramic brim, the way the shadows stretch out long and slim. Not a fever or a flashing wave, just the quiet ordinary things we save. A simple Sunday in the pouring light, everything is balanced and alright. Traffic light hung in the gray, crack in the sidewalk on a common Tuesday. You held a paper bag like a shield over a past we left buried in a field. Your collar turned against the wind, an old habit from before the world would bend. We stood like statues in the rain, two ghosts trying to recall the pain. You didn't reach and I didn't move, the distance was a streak to prove. The window clock was out of time, no reason, rhythm or rhyme. The ground beneath us starts to strain under the weight of all the rain. The weight of what we buried pulls the floor. No keys are left for that heavy wooden door. Spaces where words should be, locked in a silence that won't set us free. All we kept is a stone inside a well, with 1,000 stories we never got to tell. For the borders shifted and the fires grew. I wondered if the winter stayed as cold, but questions felt dusty and answers felt old. We shared a look that lasted half a life, sharp and jagged like a rusty knife. The ground beneath us starts to strain under the weight of all the rain. The weight of what we buried pulls us slow. No keys are left for that heavy wooden door. We breathe the spaces where words should be, locked in a silence that won't set us free. All we kept is a stone inside a well, with 1,000 stories we never got to tell. The city flowed like glass around, waiting for memory to hit the ground. An artist's shift, a final piece adrift, no goodbye spoken in the thick. The weight of what they buried pulls the floor. No keys are left for the heavy wooden door. Oh, we breathe the spaces where words should be, locked in a silence that will set us free. All we kept is a stone inside a well, with 1,000 stories we never got to tell. A traffic light hung in the gray, a crack in the sidewalk on a common Tuesday. You held a paper bag like a shield over a past we left buried in a field. Your collar turned against the wind, an old habit from before the world would bend. We stood like statues in the rain, two ghosts trying to recall the pain. You didn't reach and I didn't move. The distance was the street to prove. The window clock was out of time, no reason, rhythm, or a rhyme. The ground beneath us starts to strain under the weight of all the rain. The weight of what we buried pulls the floor. No keys are left for the heavy wooden door. We breathe the spaces where words should be, locked in a silence that won't set us free. All we kept is a stone inside a well, with 1,000 stories we never got to tell. Your eyes were a map of a land I knew. before the borders shifted and the fires grew. I wondered if the winter stayed as cold, but questions felt dusty and answers felt old. We shared a look that lasted half a life, sharp and jagged like a rusty knife. The ground beneath us starts to strain under the weight of all the rain. The weight of what we buried pulls the floor. No keys are left for the heavy wooden door. We breathe the spaces where words should be, locked in a silence that won't set us free. All we kept is a stone inside a well with 1,000 stories we never got to tell. The city flowed like glass around, waiting for memory to hit the ground. Another shift, a final piece adrift, no goodbye spoken in the thick. Spaces where words should be, locked in a silence that won't set us free. All we kept is a stone inside a well with 1,000 stories we never got to tell. The diesel hums a low blue note. The platform shivers in its coat. A ticket folded like a prayer. Winter hangs its waiting there. The timetable ticks out the debt of hours we have not paid yet. Your scarf is tangled in the wind. The fabric knows where we have sinned. We talk about the weather and clock to keep the quiet from the shock. The coffee in the cup is cold, like every story we have told. The brake line hisses with a moan, an invitation to unknown. The steel grinds on a gravel bed to bury every word unsaid. The iron track cuts through the dark, a final flint to strike a spark. There is no map for those trains go when seeds of hearting start to grow. The red light blinks a warning high. We outlive meaning of goodbye. The salt from off your cheek, as if the weeping was unique. I reached him in the space with palm, but stillness is a different harm. The porter swings his gate light low, the only witness to our woe. Small sentences fall on the floor like rusted keys for no door. We stand on edge of something deep, promise is too steep to keep. The luggage holds more than our clothes. It carries what the whole world knows. The brake line hisses with a moan, an invitation to unknown. It still grinds on a gravel bed to bury every word unsaid. The iron track cuts through the dark, a final flint to strike a spark. There is no map for ghost trains roll when seas apart and start to grow. Red light blinks a warning high. We are the meaning of goodbye. Face, a lonely vapor in the space. We traded kingdoms for the sand, let water slip right through our hand. No mercy in the whistle scream that wakes a sleeper from a dream. Trains go and seeds of parting start to grow. The red light blinks a warning high. We are the meaning of goodbye. No map for ghost train for when seas apart and start to blow. The diesel hums a low blue note. The platform shivers in its cold. A ticket folded like a prayer. Winter hangs its weight in air. The timetable ticks out the debt of our words we have not paid yet. Your scarf is tangled in the wind. The fabric knows where we have sinned. We talk about the weather and clock to keep the quiet from the shock. The coffee in the cup is cold, like every story we have told. The brake line hisses with more, an invitation to unknown. The steel grinds on a gravel bed to bury every word unsaid. The iron track cuts through the dark, a final flint to strike the spark. There is no map for ghost trains go, and seeds of parting start to grow. The red light blinks a warning high. We are the meaning of goodbye. wash the salt from off your cheek, as if the weeping was unique. I reach to mend the space with palm, but stillness is a different heart. The porter swings his gate light low, the only witness to our woe. Small sentences fall on the floor like rusted keys for no door. We stand on edge of something deep, promises too steep to keep. The luggage holds more than our clothes, it carries what the whole world knows. The brake line hisses with a moan, an invitation to unknown. The steel grinds our gravel bed to bury every word unsaid. The iron track cuts through the dark, a final flint to strike us far. There is no map but those trunk go, and seeds apart and start to grow. The red light blinks so warning high, we outlive meaning of goodbye. Steam now rises, shroud your face, a lonely vapor in this space. We traded kingdoms for the sand, let water slip right through our hand. No mercy in the whistle scream that wakes a sleeper from a dream. Cuts through the dark, the final flint to strike a spark. There is no map for ghost trains go, when seeds of parting start to grow. The red light thinks a warning high, we outlive meaning of goodbye. The diesel hums a low blue tone, the platform shivers all alone. A ticket folded like a prayer, winter hangs its heavy air. The timetable ticks out the debt of hours we have not paid yet. Your scarf is tangled in the wind, the fabric knows where we have sinned. We talk about the weather and time to keep the quiet from the crime. The coffee in the cup is cold, like every story we have told. The brake line hisses with a moan, an invitation to unknown. The steel grinds on the gravel bed to bury every word unsaid. The iron track cuts through the dark, a final flint to strike a spark. There is no map for ghost trains go, and seeds of but stillness is a different harm. The porter swings his gate light low, the only witness to our woe. The brake line misses with the moon, an invitation to unknown. The steel grind on the gravel bed to bury every word unsaid. The iron track cuts scour the door, the final flint to strike a spark. There is no map for ghost trains go when seeds of parting start to grow. The red light blinks a warning how we outlive meaning of goodbye. The steam now rises, shrouds your face, a lonely vapor in this space. We traded kingdoms for the sand, let water slip right through our hand. No mercy in the whistle scream that wakes a sleeper from a the diesel hums a low blue tone. The platform shivers all alone. The ticket folded like a prayer. Winter hangs its heavy air. The timetable takes out the debt of hours we have not paid yet. Your scarf is tangled in the wind. The fabric knows where we have sinned. We talk about the weather and time to keep the quiet from the crime. The coffee in the cup is cold, like every story we have told. The brake line hisses with a moan, an invitation to unknown. The steel grinds on the gravel bed to bury every word unsaid. The iron track cuts through the dark, a final flint to strike a spark. There is no map for ghost trains going, seeds of parting start to grow. The red light blinks a warning high. We outlive meaning of goodbye. You brush the salt from off your cheek, as if the weeping was unique. I reached him in this space with palm, but stillness is a different harm. The border swings his steam rises, shrouds your face, a lonely vapor in this space. We traded kingdoms for the sand, let water slip right through our hand. No mercy in the whistle scream that wakes a sleeper from a dream. Through the dark, a final flint to strike a spark. There is no map for ghost trains going. Seas of parting start to grow. The red light blinks so warning high. We outlive the name of goodbye. The coffee settles in the porcelain cup. I trace the lines of time around your eyes as drawn. The sunlight maps the patterns on the wood. I fold my hands to hide the coming of the dawn. The air grows thick and heavy when you speak. A velvet curtain falling in the ring. I swallow all the words I cannot speak and let the quiet garden start to bloom. You tell me of the dreams you chased today, of people met and bridges you have crossed. I nod at every pause along the way and count the total of the things I've lost by staying in the shadow of the frame. A ghost who holds a coat beside the door. I've learned to walk the narrow space and aim between the ceiling and the polished floor. This is a house with windows painted shut, a paper boat upon a frozen lake. I carry all the weight of what I hide, for both our fragile and our careful sakes. It is a victory to stay unknown, to leave the deepest hollows unexplored. A masterclass in breathing all alone and putting every longing to the sword. Sky is bruising into blue. You reach to find her keys across the glass. Your sleeve against my arm, a brief review. Another season that is meant to pass. I could have built a monument of fire or torn the fabric of for the safety I require and hum a low and solitary tune. This is a house with windows painted shut, a paper boat upon a frozen lake. I carry all the weight of what I hide, for boats are fragile and our crew forsakes. It is a victory to stay unknown, to leave the deepest hollows unexplored. A masterclass in breathing all alone and putting every longing to the sword. A paper boat upon a frozen lake. I carry all the weight of what I hide, for both are fragile and our tearful sakes. It is a victory to stay unknown, to leave the deepest hollows unexplored. A masterclass in breathing all alone and proving every longing to the sword. The coffee settles in a porcelain cup. I trace the lines that time around your eyes is drawn. The sunlight maps the patterns on the wood. I fold my hands to hide the humming of the dawn. The air grows thick and heavy when you speak. A velvet curtain falling in the room. I swallow all the words I cannot speak and let the quiet garden start to bloom. You tell me of the dreams you chased today, of people met and bridges you have crossed. I nod at every pause along the way and count the total of the things I've lost by staying in the shadow of the frame. A ghost who holds the coat beside the door. I've learned to walk the narrow space and aim between the ceiling and the polished floor. This is a house with window painted shut, a paper boat upon a frozen lake. I carry all the weight of what I hide, for both are fragile and our careful sakes. It is a victory to stay unknown, to leave the deepest hollows unexplored. Class and breathing all alone and putting every longing to the sword. And the evening sky is bruising into blue. You reach to find your keys across the glass. You sleep against my arm, a brief review. Now there's a season that is meant to pass. I could have built a monument to fire, torn the fabric of this afternoon, but I prefer the safety I require, and hum a low and solitary tune. This is a house with windows painted shut, a paper boat upon a frozen lake. I carry all the weight of what I hide, for both are fragile and our careful sakes. It is a victory to stay unknown, to leave the deepest hollows unexplored. Masterclass in breathing all alone and putting every lump into the sword. This is a house with windows painted shut, a paper boat upon a frozen lake. I carry all the weight of what I hide, for both are fragile and our careful sakes. It is a victory to stay unknown, to leave the deepest hollows unexplored. Masterclass in breathing all alone. The white dust settles on the glass, the garden fades beneath the lace. I trace the frost that starts to pass across a pale and silent space. The ceramic cup holds warmth so tight, its steam ascends in fading light. The day is just a quiet feeling between the gray and evening ceiling. The keys descend like falling feathers, a ghost is dancing on the wire. The melody and winter weathers are huddling close beside the fire. Each note is small and brushed with blue, a lonely drop in frozen motion. I'm looking for a different view across a cold and milky ocean. The world is wrapped in velvet linen, the clock is ticking half a beat upon this empty silver street. The story hasn't quite been written, the bitterness is sweet and dark. The silence has a heavy sound, a glowing coal, a tiny spark, where all the lost and found are bound. The flakes are spinning slow and blind, they vanish on the muddy ground. The shadows stretching in my mind are the only friends I've recently found. The brew is getting lukewarm now, the song is searching
a glowing coal, a tiny spark where all the lost and color bound.
The white dust settles on the glass. The garden fades beneath the lace. I trace the frost that starts to pass across a pale and silent space. The ceramic cup holds warm so tight. Its steam ascends in fading light. The day is just a quiet feeling between the gray and evening ceiling. The keys descend like falling feathers. A ghost is dancing on the wire. The melody in winter weathers are huddling close beside the fire. Each note is small and brushed with blue, a lonely drop in the frozen motion. I'm looking for a different view, across a cold and milky ocean. The world is wrapped in velvet linen. The clock is ticking half a beat upon this empty silver street. The story hasn't quite been written. The bitterness is sweet and dark. The silence has a heavy sound, a glowing coal, a tiny spark where all the lost and found are bound. The flakes are spinning slow and blind. They vanish on the muddy ground. The shadows stretching in my mind are the only friends I've recently found. The brew is getting lukewarm now. The song is searching for an ending to the weight of ice upon the bow, and the stillness that the sky is landing. The world is left in velvet linen. The clock is ticking half a beat upon this empty silver street. The story hasn't quite been written. The bitterness is sweet and dark. The silence has a heavy sound, but glowing coal, a tiny spark where all the lost and found are bound. The vapor rises, then it thins. The ivy rings a hollow bell where the outside
story hasn't quite been written. The bitterness is sweet and dark. Oh, the silence has a heavy sound, a glowing coal, a tiny spark where all the lost and sound are bound.
The ceiling wears a bruised indigo shade. The clock ticks slow, its gears delay. I pull the curtains, let the silver light begin our quiet dialogue tonight. I share the secrets daylight brushed away, the tangled motives, places where I stay. The city hums a low and distant sound, while shadows trace your cratered ground. I tell you how the anchor slipped away, and all I lack the fortitude to say. You listen with a cold and ancient face, accepting every flaw you can't erase. Tonight I'm unburdening my soul, watching a heavy thought tides roll. No judgment in the vacuum dark, just steady cooling of a spark. The silence is a medicine I keep until the restless parts of me can sleep. There is a hollow where the noises die, a peaceful valley where the vanity lies. I do not need the answers or design, just comfortable life that is truly mine. The gravity of worry loses hold as afternoon's old story is retold. I see the world through frosted glass, watch heavy clouds of memory pass. The jagged edges of the ego mend when I make the universe my friend. The weight of expectation drifts away, leaving honest things within the grave. Tonight I'm unburdening my soul, watching the heavy thought tides roll. No judgment in the vacuum dark, just steady cooling of the spark. The silence is a medicine I keep until the restless parts of me can sleep. The mirror does not know the man at noon before I reach for the crescent spoon. I gather fragments of a broken piece, finding in the stillness my release. The shadows stretch across the wooden floor. I am not who I was the night before.
just steady cooling of the spark. The silence.
The ceiling wears a bruised indigo shade. The clock ticks slow, its gears delayed. I pull the curtains, let the silver light begin our quiet dialogue tonight. I share the secrets daylight brushed away, the tangled motives, places where I stay. The city hums a low and distant sound, while shadows trace you crater ground. I tell you how the anger slipped away, and all I lack the fortitude to say. You listen with a cold and ancient face, accepting every flaw you can't erase. Tonight I'm unburdening my soul, watching the heavy thought tides roll. No judgment in the vacuum dark, just steady cooling of the spark. The silence is a medicine I keep until the restless parts of me can sleep. There is a hollow where the noise has died, a peaceful valley where the vanity lied. I do not need the answers or design, just comfort of a life that is truly mine. The gravity of worry loses hold as afternoon's old story is retold. I see the world through frosted glass, watch heavy clouds of memory pass, the jagged edges of the ego mend when I make the universe my friend. The weight of expectation drifts away, leaving honest things within the grave. Tonight I'm unburdening my soul, watching the heavy thought tides roll. No judgment in the vacuum dark, just as cooling of a spark. The silence is a medicine I keep until the restless parts of me can sleep. The mirror does not know the man at noon. Before I reached for the crescent spoon, I gathered fragments of a broken piece, finding in the stillness my release. The shadows stretch across the wooden floor,